Welcome back to But I Love My Pet. This is Real Talk. I'm Dr. Owens, and this is Dr. Crocker. Now, Dr. Crocker is a veterinarian, ER, and day practice owner. I would love to get some more insight. Please tell the people who you are and what you're about.
I am Dr. Crocker. I am a veterinarian who's done a lot of different things in this industry. Basically, have made my own path. I do own a couple practices. I work ER because that's what I love to do. But I also speak and teach and travel and do marketing and recruiting and social media education. So I wear a lot of different hats. I feel like you're very similar. That's why we vibe and get along.
Definitely vibed.
Yeah.
I love that about you. And I've seen your work on social media as well. You have a following that's definitely ride or die.
It's fun. I mean, I feel like there's, people that are very engaged, and sometimes they tell me when I get it wrong.
Hey.
That's the fun of social media. But a lot of just support and encouragement, and every time you post something, if you have someone send you a message and say like, thank you for that, I was experiencing that, I was struggling, I needed to see that, or I learned something, I think that's where I see the value of all of it.
For sure. And I think with this social media platform where everybody is an expert, it's really good to feel a tangible, real person.
Yes,
and that this is not AI.
Yes, we're not AI. Like, the background is not AI. We probably need an AI background, but we may do with what we had here.
I think we'd be just fine.
Yeah.
So look, I want the people to know, like, your insight, that dynamic of day practice and ER. I know I've owned both and had my various encounters. I believe strongly that ER is really just day practice at night.
Okay.
What are your perspective on that dynamic?
I definitely think, in day practice, you never know what's going to walk in the door. And, that dog that is coughing, right, is actually in heart failure and, can't breathe, and it's an emergency all of a sudden. Or that dog that just slowed down a little bit, has blood in its belly and is bleeding out. So I think there's definitely that component. I work nights in downtown Dallas in the ER, and so we see some wild stuff. We do see some stuff I've never seen in GP. I mean, we have dogs come in that have been shot. We have a ton of really bad dog fights, a ton of really bad hit by cars. So things that they usually do go like to an emergency hospital because of the severity of it.
Right.
But I agree with you. I mean, the main thing I see is vomiting diarrhea dogs, which you see in day practice a lot, but at least there's very few allergies.
Yeah.
There's a couple emergency, ear infections, but I love it because I don't know what's going to walk through the door. I love surgery. So give me that GDV, give me that, splenectomy. I mean, that's why I do it, and I do it at night so I can see those cases and can cut them.
She loves the cut, and I do too. And this is to veterinarians and future veterinarians. It's okay. Just jump in it. Get to know your body, get to know yourself. And when you help that pet, because not a lot of people can do this, she's not specialized, but she's really special in what she does. And there's a very unique difference. So it's okay to get after it for all you future veterinarians and doctors out there who just are a little gun shy about getting in that surgery, okay?
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm wondering, is it because they're not getting as much surgery in school? Like, I know some schools have actually moved away from live animal surgeries, and they're doing more, and then maybe their first experience isn't great out in practice. Like, I know in the ER we have a very strict mentoring program, and so they're always with a senior vet. They are always, cutting with somebody in those first 4 months, and then in the last 2 months of the program, like, we're right there with them. Like, they're never alone.
Right.
And I think that makes a big difference versus you go somewhere and they're like, cool, you're a vet, jump in there, go do it. We'll be around, but they're not available. And that can make it hard for anybody to learn and feel comfortable, I think, learning.
I agree. But I also, to that note, it's where you go. I think that first round is super important. The first 2 years after vet school is highly beneficial. If you pick the wrong mentor, or you pick the bag, right, the biggest offer, because it was 10,000 more than the great offer who was going to have mentorship provide you with, you chase the dollar, you kind of get what you didn't want to pay for in the wrong way. So I always go for mentorship. I wasn't personally expecting to learn everything in vet school.
Right.
And just like riding a bike, I don't know anyone who had a first bike ride experience that was amazing.
Yes.
You got to get back on that bike and keep going with the right credentials and people who really want to help you, and find a good mentor that says, I got you. We're in it together. I've been there before. These are all normal feelings. Let's get after it collectively, right? But they got to do their due diligence too. I think that's important.
And you can't just, I mean, everybody right now is like, come work for us. We have mentorship. Come work for, but like, ask the question.
Ask them.
What does that look like? Does it mean there's just somebody you can call?
Right.
Or does it mean there's somebody there with you, ready to jump in if you need it, ready to walk you through like the first one, right? Like your first GDV, like you should be watching somebody do it. You should be assisting, and then you should have somebody scrubbed in with you, you know, when you're doing it. But what does mentorship actually mean at that practice? Because I had so many people who say, I went here because they said they had this. They didn't ask those questions. And then they're alone in the middle of the night on the phone, juggling 50 things, stressed out.
Scared.
Yeah, scared. And then you wonder, like, why don't they like doing surgery? Well, you set them up to fail.
Right. But did they go visit that practice prior to signing that contract? I think it's a relationship. I'm not going to marry someone I've only seen once, right? Or heard from on the phone. Like this is a relationship.
That's true.
So you got to take that seriously too. And I think a lot of people, they just the devil in the details of the contract, but not the actual visitation. Ask the questions in real time. Check the culture of the environment. And then make sure, you know, they're saying exactly what they say they are, you know?
Which I do, because you do have pet owners, you know, that follow. I don't want pet owners to think that, you know, there's only young veterinarians out there that are doing things they shouldn't be doing. I think that most of the time you're going to have somebody who knows what they're doing, or they're going to just not do it because they're not comfortable with it. But I do think there is, you know, a difference in a program that intentionally trains versus just has the body there.
I love that.
There's a big difference.
Huge. Now, I want to get back to my pet parents. I got this specialist right here in just overall veterinary medicine. What is something you would definitely recommend all pet parents seeing, like your day practice, your nighttime ERs? I mean, you've seen a gambit of issues and concerns and feelings and people that are coming emotionally charged at you. What advice would you give these pet parents in these times?
I mean, the number one thing that I tell people is it's cheaper to prevent than to treat. And that sounds so simple, right? But like giving a parvo vaccine is so much cheaper than hospitalizing or treating for parvo. And doing those routine checks is so much cheaper than ending up at the emergency room in the middle of the night for something that's been going on for a while because you were kind of thinking there was something wrong, but you didn't really have time to go in or you didn't want to spend the money on it. And now you're with me in the middle of the night and you're wondering why it costs so much, but it's because they waited, you know? And there's so many things that we can help if we catch them earlier. I have pet owners, I don't know about you, but they'll look at me and say, well, would it have made a difference if I had gone in?
If only.
And in those moments, I would never say yes. I would never say that because my job is to support them and get them through this difficult time. But there is times that it would have made a difference. And that is the tough part because your pet's not going to tell you if something's wrong until it's real, real bad. So those little things, those little triggers, you got to be keeping an eye on them for sure.
Very subtle. And they're going to love you, wag their tail, show up for you 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I think that's the part that always hurts my feelings. When you know the pet parent, it's not even about the funds. It was literally, they just didn't know. They just didn't know. Now we got to make some hard decisions in a very short time. All right, now Doc, you're at Super Zoo. I don't want to get too emotional. You got me all goose bumped out.
Listen, we care. That's why we do this. We do this.
And we get absolutely nothing out of telling you, which we won't, but in our head, it's like, I told you so. I get nothing out of that, right? And to your point, prevention doesn't just mean vaccines. It means, hey, something ain't right. Look, you know your baby better than anyone in this room. If it feels off to you, trust it, but verify. It's okay. We're never going to call you OCD or you're just, you know, overthinking it. And don't let your family or friends talk you out of your gut feeling when it's your baby.
Or don't let the Facebook group talk you out of it, right? Because I've had people come in and say, there's just something off. And like on exam, actually the dog looks great. They're jumping around. They look good on the outside. And, you know, there's that moment for me saying like, why did they even come in? But then I'm like, okay, let's do the things. You're here. Let's check it. And we find something. Because at home, they're more themselves. They'll show things a little bit more. And like you do know your pet. So you need to trust your gut. And just remember, it's going to be less the earlier you catch something.
Including labs. We don't know. Look, she's great. I'm great. But we're not magicians. I don't know what's under the hood. And a lot of times their engine light is blazing off, right? But no one's there to check that and verify. And usually we find that, confirm it in the blood work or urine or x-rays. So please also be prepared. That's a part of the preventative care to say it's off. Check the labs, he's doing this, and is he dehydrated? Is that in process? Is he having some sort of cancer that we just can't see? A lot of them start internally and then come out everywhere else. Not just a bump here or a bump there that you can visibly palpate. So it's okay. Now, you're a super zoo doc.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. That's the passion.
Yeah, we're like, please go see your vet. No.
Please. It takes a village. It really does. What brings you here?
So it is
because not a lot of vets come here.
A little random, yeah. So Super Zoo is basically a conference, show, convention for pet retailers and people that are making products for pet retail. So it is something that I really didn't envision. If you've ever been to like WVC or VMX, this is that times 2.
Yeah.
It's huge. But I was asked to come because I do a lot of social media education and I talk a lot about different products and different things. And so they wanted me to come and kind of see what was out there, what's emerging. But then also I gave a talk about what veterinarians want pet retailers to know. So that was really fun and it's generated some really good conversation. Do you want me to tell you what I talked about?
Because my follow-up is, what makes you vet and vouch for some of these companies that are chomping at the bit to get Dr. Crocker on their side?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people a lot, if you do anything on social media, the amount of emails that we get asking somebody, like someone wanting to rubber stamp their supplement or their whatever is huge.
Yeah.
And so I'm always asking, well, what's the data? What's, the formulation? I pretty much stay away from a lot of nutritional things because there's so many claims that are made that aren't really backed by science. But that's going to be the big factor for me is, did they put in the time to get the certifications, to get the data that they can actually say what they're saying the product does. So I think that coming here, and one, I'm blown away by how many companies there are. I mean, it is insane. Obviously, the pet industry is something that is making people money because it is crazy how many new products there are, how many things that are out there. And really the take home is pet owners want their pets to live a great life, live their best life, which I think veterinarians need to lean into also. But I wanted to do a talk and it basically was, we share the same customer. Like they're going to the pet retail place and they're asking questions about what they should feed and what they should do and what their vet said. Then they're coming to me and they're saying, well, I heard this from, the rep here and I saw this on TikTok. What is the truth? So really we need to be understanding what each other is saying, having better communication, because ultimately we want to help the pet.
Correct.
And that needs to be something that we're consistent in our messaging. We have good data backing our messaging, and that we're talking positively about each other and like what the goal is overall. So it was good. It was sparked some good conversations. You would have loved this. I had one company say, well, how can I like get vets to want to like work with us or talk about us, and recommend us? I said, don't trash talk them. I was like, that is number one. If your marketing is negative about veterinarians, like we still haven't forgiven some companies in our industry for years ago making like one commercial that was negative about vets. Like we got a long memory, which I think we need to move past a little bit.
Right.
But it's been good. And I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been very eye-opening. They have some CE here for vets. So it's like race approved, which is cool. So I don't know. I'm having fun.
You look like you're having fun.
I like to talk to people, so.
I know that's right. But I think to your point too, it's a family affair. It's so much out here in information and like you said, businesses that understand the pet human animal bond dynamic. We're not after you. You shouldn't be after us. Let us do our job to the best of our ability, and you do yours. And we can meet in the middle with conversation and get it right for the pet parents, because you guys are the ones that deserve it, right? Let us do the research. Let us inform, and then you can decide on your own, right? What's best for your pet in your situation.
Yeah, but the options are overwhelming. So I think having, voices with authority and voices that kind of know the medical side of things is valuable.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a pet parent, I'm saying, what in the world should I do for A, B, and C? Because there's so many options out there.
Too much. And then AI is going to tell you one thing. Dr. Google is going to tell you another. The influencer with 2 million followers in the pet's going to tell you the other thing. And the vet's going to tell you something else. Now, I will say this. For the pet parents that are seeing the pets who are just getting cooked for, steak, filet mignon, I'm gonna say it, Doc. I'm gonna say this. You gotta caution, and I don't mind. That's your thing. Trust but verify, because I promise you, in the event that the influencer pet is seeing Dr. Crocker at 2 a.m. for upset tummy, pancreatitis, or other, they're not gonna go back on social media and say, "Oh my God, my bad," to my millions of followers. Not a good idea.
Right.
I thought it was good until it wasn't, and now it's a problem, and now we're on prescription diet for the rest of our life. They won't tell you that.
They won't, no.
And then it's wax and repeat. So just be cautious, trust but verify, and that maybe work for that pet, which we would call, that's just an outlier. I don't even put that in my database.
Right.
The routine ones can't handle it, especially the older we get. So just cautionary tale.
Yeah, I see things in the ER all the time that are frustrating because someone did A, B, and C, and they just didn't know. I mean, they didn't know, but they saw it and they heard it work for this animal, and they didn't think about maybe it doesn't translate to like their pet specifically. So I think that trust and verify is a good thing. There's some companies here that I was walking around and they're like, we're veterinary approved. And I said, cool, who's the vet? And I will tell you, some of them were able to give me a name.
Okay.
But I do think, again, like, can you find that vet?
Right.
And like, can you tell that they exist? Are they nutritionists? Are they,
What's their background? Yeah.
Are they somebody that rubber stamps products, or are they somebody that actually is involved in the formulation? I think that's a good differentiation, because my husband said a long time ago, people just assume quality. Like, they assume that everything is made the same way and done the same way and tested the same way, because they don't know better. And the more you know, the more enlightening it is. So I do think that people truly care about their pets and they want what's best for them. And there's just so much noise. It's hard to pick out the good.
And I call that good branding and marketing, right?
Yes.
So I know some brands that market better than Nike for food, and that's why you believe you're buying the best, until I see the blood work consistently. And I'm not gonna call anyone out, but there are some brands that I just ick as soon as they say, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? What are you feeding them?" They tell me, I already know what I'm looking for in those several brands. So again, just because it works for this pet, just make sure it's working for your pet, and then make sure it continues to work next year, because every year is different.
Yeah.
All right, Doc, I have a question for you, because it's sensitive.
Are we in trouble?
No trouble. Okay. I just want to know, because I know you're seeing a lot, and the ER comes emotionally charged with pet parents who really care.
Yes.
What do you think about pet medical insurance?
Whew.
Just give it to me. I want to know.
Okay. I would say this. I think that it is good for people that can afford it and afford one that covers things. I would say I have seen, and I just had one recently, I'll give like a real life example of someone that got pet insurance for both their animals, and we had seen there was some tartar, and I recommended a dental, and they got a letter saying that a dental wouldn't be covered because the tartar was a pre-existing condition. And the only way that we could prove it wasn't a pre-existing condition was to do a dental, take x-rays, make sure there wasn't any bony changes, and say it was just tartar and there wasn't periodontal disease. And I'm like, wait, so they need to pay for a dental to maybe get it covered by insurance, but you're also looking for reasons to not cover it? I mean, it was wild to me. So I think a lot of people that can afford pet insurance can probably just afford to put that money aside for like an emergency fund, which I also think is a good idea. I just think there's a lot of variety in pet insurances, and depending on the breed of animal you have and what you're looking for, you just have to be really careful. Yeah. So I don't like the messaging of people saying this was too expensive, this happened, and people saying, well, you should have pet insurance. I think that's just an oversimplification of a very complicated issue. Yeah. Now, what do you think?
You know what? I think.
Did I change your mind, or did I?
No. Because I agree, but also like something is better than nothing is kind of my perspective. Okay, you gave a very, in my opinion, a routine dental is not the cost of a broken back. Right. And the broken back at $15,000, $16,000 for, we were good, and then we're not immediately. Plus the time sensitivity with that. If I have insurance, okay, you didn't cover the dental, $200-300, routine maybe. That $16,000, that's like quality of life. Right. Right. So I believe like at least you had it from a veterinarian perspective, and the owner, I know some insurance companies I have no problem with, so I vouch for them. They covered the spread, pet owner was happy, deductible was fine, we got covered, pet got the care it needed. I vouch for them. And then a couple of them, the ones that give me slack, I remember that. And I understand the pain you gave the entire situation. And therefore, what was your purpose anyway? That's when we get into the scammy kind of conversation that I feel and that the pet parents feel too. I mean, car insurance, you know, how often you get a car accident? I feel like I've given a college tuition. Much money. I mean, that's college.
But if it happens, you want that car insurance.
You want the car insurance.
That's the thing. And so the other thing is, you know, in the middle of the night at the ER, I love that you have insurance. And you say, do whatever. I have insurance, I have emergency coverage. You still have to pay me.
Correct.
So most insurances are not direct pay. So in the middle of the night, like, you're still going to have to pay for what's happening and then get reimbursed. And that's, again, if you have the disposable funds to do that and get reimbursed. But I think the people that we say should have insurance don't always have that ability. So then how is it working out in those emergency situations? And so that's where it's a little bit of a gray area. I just don't like any blanket statements. It's like, this will fix things. Because I'm like, well, like we talked about, what's the situation?
What's the situation? And what's the lifestyle of the pet? Now, if I had, again, one of the biggest things I see are, you know, you got the guys, they working out harder than me. Their dogs run 30 miles a week. They take them hiking. They're swole. Everybody's swole. I understand. You have an athletic breed. What do athletes get? Athletic injuries. So prepare for the need to go out, right? Prepare for some hip issues, some joint supplements that are necessary long-term, and the right diet. Now we can feed them high proteinaceous food because it makes sense to their lifestyle. Now I'm in Vegas, it's 117 degrees. That lifestyle goes down in the summertime, but unfortunately the protein amount went up. And I have an extended summer where we didn't get any exercise. I still fed you like you were strong, working out, pumping iron, and then I see you in the winter and we got a lot of issues. So just things to be cautious of, but that would also verify, hey, for your circumstance, you're hiking, we got rattlesnakes out here, please get pet insurance, because we really don't know when you're putting your pet in that position where finances
may not
overheated. Or drowning is a big one too. I mean, they fall in.
Oh my gosh.
They fall in and, you know, now if they make it, I'm dealing with hospitalization from aspiration pneumonia. So it's very critical that you adjust your finance, but I think the key takeaway is have a plan, because the guarantee in life is they will need you at some point in their life beyond a comfortable bed, food, and water.
I mean, pets are living longer. They're living longer, which is why we're seeing more health issues that are bigger, but also that we can do a lot about, because things have advanced so much in our industry, even since I graduated, but that costs more money. So it's a, you know, catch-22 sometimes a little bit. I'm glad they're with us longer, but you got to prepare a little bit more that pocketbook is going to, you know, take a little more out of it with the time.
Part of the budget. I mean, we fighting inflation every year. You got to plan for the baby too, because they can't speak for you. Now, I appreciate that. That was good. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just didn't want anybody to, like, you know, get real fired up.
Get them fired up, Doc. At least they talking about it. Because we know if something's going to happen, at least we had this conversation. So whether you have your own HSA pocketbook ready to go for the pet, you said emergency fund, but that can get easily blown on human emergency funds. AC went out, I got to put that $5,000 on to the AC unit, and then we don't refill it, and then we break our back, unfortunately. But I want to know what's going on with you. What's up next with Dr. Crocker? You got so much going on right now. We briefly discussed it. What do you want to inform the people?
So I have a general practice that's in Fort Worth, Texas, but I saw a need for something new. So I have decided to open a surgery-focused practice. This is going to be during the day practice. We are going to have some weekend hours, but basically trying to bridge a gap a little bit between GP and then like specialty, you know, emergency. There's a lot of things I see in the middle of the night that don't have to have surgery right away. And then, you know, I'm stabilizing and then getting them to a place that's a little more affordable for the owner the next day. And so I feel like I'm seeing that kind of more and more. And I'm also seeing some veterinarians not want to do certain surgeries. So do a little scarier surgeries, bigger surgeries. So I just decided, I've had this idea for a couple of years and I keep seeing the need. So let's open a surgery only facility.
Let's go for it.
And it's referral based, but also pet owners can find us. And we're hoping to work with the community vets and, help them a little bit if their owners can't afford a boarded specialist for something that a GP could do, like a cystotomy, a PU, foreign body, things like that. They could find us and we can provide care. It's not low cost, but we say it's like affordable and accessible. So I'm excited, literally get to do surgery all day. So
I love that. And that is a sweet spot because a lot of, pet parents, we got to recommend best care, which is specialists, of course.
Yes.
Specialties usually dependent on affordability and if they have the capacity, because they're getting sent a lot of products too. So if we can do it, we might not be able to do it for the, you can't afford 10,000, but you can do 5,000 for a qualified veterinarian that's comfortable and very
doing it.
Very well versed in doing those surgeries because it's routine to them. And then now my next question is, are you providing any training to veterinarians that may want to go out and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take a bite out of crowd. Let's do it.
I have had a ton of people reach out, and I've had a lot of like new grads reach out and say, "Can we come spend some time with you there? Like, I want to do more." So I told them like, let me get it open. We're opening in this September. And let me get things going, make sure the processes are good. But I think 2027, like if things are rolling like I want, I would love to have people come and get some hands-on training. We do have a couple rescue partners that really provide high-level services for rescue pets too. So we're going to keep working with them and do more and more with them. And I do have a boarded surgeon that actually will come in and do orthopedics. So fracture repairs, CPLOs, broken pelvises, all that. So I have an orthopedic surgery suite and a soft tissue one. So it's gonna be nice. It's
how many square feet?
I don't know how many square feet it is. I feel like I should know. Does 1,700 sound right?
That's a good amount.
It's not.
It's surgical only?
It's in a strip center. It's like just, surgery. And, we're going to take everybody in the morning. We're going to cut all day and then send them home at the end of the day.
Same day. I love it. In and out. All right, Doc. Anything else you want to inform my pet parents out there from Dr. Crocker's perspective?
I think the biggest thing I would tell you is to ask the questions. If you go to your vet and you've heard something wild or you've heard something that makes you question what you're doing with your pet, just ask the questions. And if you have a vet that is not willing to kind of have discussions, I think that would be something that you should find somebody who wants to have those discussions because you're a team to help your pet. And I don't want you going in and not giving them all the information and all the things you're doing and then, maybe continuing something that's not ideal for your pet. So you need to trust each other, you need to communicate, but definitely verify, trust and verify.
You know what? That amazing. I appreciate your insight.
Yes.
They had to hear it from a different perspective because it's important. And that's how real veterinarians, real quality care veterinarians do. We care so much. We lose sleep at night sometimes. I mean, these cases follow us and some things we just can't unsee and unhear. So stay encouraged, Doc. I appreciate everything you're doing for our community. The industry needs you and continue to stay encouraged and nothing but blessings and success for your new business adventures. I'm very proud of you and
thank you. Maybe I'll be as boss as you one day, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
You're amazing.
That was good.
You are amazing.
That was good.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it.
You're everything I thought you was gonna be.
Oh. Well, hopefully. I know. Don't you do you ever see people and then meet them in person? You're like,
Yeah.
Like they're a little different.
Yeah. I got a couple names I want to drop. But
you don't have to drop names, but it is interesting sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people don't, I look young.